everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's actually been quite a while. Actually, I don't do this quite often. I don't record for so many days, but things have got a bit busy in my life, and obviously, it's hard sometimes to keep up. But it's my fault. I do apologize. Consistency is always important, and that is the road I want to head down. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, that does mean a lot. So yeah, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. First and foremost, we're not that far away, just under 50 away now. So you guys push it, it will mean the absolute world to me. You guys have been showing a lot of love, a lot of support on the channel, and only I can appreciate that. And I'm sure you all will continue to do so. But let's get into what I really wanted to talk about today, and I think it's again these things as well, especially the season we're in. So, if you weren't aware, Liverpool are going to win the Premier League title. It's quite obvious that Liverpool are going to win the Premier League title. And I don't think there's any qualms or any dispute about Liverpool's, they are going to win the league. And I think everybody knows that Liverpool are going to win the league. I don't think that's up for question. So I think a lot of people, including myself, are already looking towards next season, are looking towards the summer. Obviously, in the last week or so, you've had the breaking news of Mo Salah signing a new Liverpool contract until the summer of 2027, so a 2-year extension. Virgil van Dijk confirmed by all the top journalists that he is going to sign a contract extension. So that's two things that are very, very positive going into the kind of, revamp of Arne Slot's Liverpool going into next season. So I think that's the start of the project, and I think a lot of the credit has to go to Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and Arne Slot, who have been involved in these contract talks. But I do want to highlight that this is just the start. This should have been done a long time ago. I'm all for accepting that they have done good for this football club, but it's also pivotal that we understand that this is the bare minimum. This is the start of, something that's going to go on and on and on and on and become something, even greater. And for Arne Slot, for Richard Hughes, for Michael Edwards, if they want to build a real title retaining squad, they need to do that properly. And that's why a lot of people are looking towards next season. So Liverpool are going to win the league. They're 13 points clear, and they could win it next week against Leicester, or this week now. Arsenal lose to Ipswich, which is very looking unlikely. But Ipswich did get a draw at Stamford Bridge in the last game. If Ipswich beat Arsenal, Liverpool can win the league away to Leicester. And a part of me doesn't want that to happen, because I think winning the league in front of an Anfield crowd that's not witnessed the title isn't, when we won the league, Liverpool, it was during COVID time where a lot of the supporters, obviously no supporters were in the stadium that season. Bar that period in December, we had about 2,000 fans in the stadium, isolated from each other. So I think winning the league, that feeling when the final whistle goes against Tottenham, which is Liverpool's next home game, if Liverpool win the league in that game, it could be monumental. We then get guard of honour from Spurs, and guard of honour from Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal at Anfield, Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So that will mean quite some to me, especially I've got a lot of, friends that are Chelsea and Arsenal fans, and I'm sure you guys too, the viewers. But Arne Slot did say, I don't care when we win the league, I just want to win it. And I think it's more inevitable. I think even the players kind of know that this league is done. I think Arne Slot accepts that this title was done. I think Mikel Arteta does as well, and especially from his team selections in the last couple of weeks. And Arsenal have got their focus on Real Madrid. They play Real Madrid tomorrow. But Liverpool's focus now, I think, goes to next season. They're not going to drop many, many points now. They're still capable of getting 94 points. Obviously, the last month or so has not been great. Paris Saint-Germain knocking them out of the Champions League, Newcastle in the final, losing to Fulham. So it's not been an easy month for Liverpool, but it will end a season of brilliance with the Premier League title, which Anfield has not seen, like I said before, for many, many years. So what's next for Liverpool? I think the most important thing is investment in this team. That is the most important thing for Arne Slot, for Richard Hughes, for Michael Edwards, is investment in this team. There's been talks about departures. We know they've said, look, quotation marks from Arne Slot himself. He has come out and said many, many times that this will be a massive summer for Liverpool. And I don't dispute that. And I think all of the Liverpool fans are just looking towards next season to kind of give us an inkling of what might happen next year. And look, everybody wants a striker. Everybody wants a new winger that I'm seeing. Everybody wants new midfielders. Everybody wants new defenders. And I'm sure like Arne Slot has come out and said himself that this summer is going to be a big summer for Liverpool. And I'm going to try and find the direct quotations for you, and I can find it right here. So I'm just going to share my screen with you guys so you can actually see what I'm looking at. So the direct quotations from Mr. Arne Slot were as follows. We will make this team very, very strong this season. Now, that for me is very, very promising. Extremely promising, to the fact that I believe that Liverpool are going to spend big money in the summer. Now, Liverpool have not had one of these windows for quite some time, but I think this is very, very telling. The manager's coming out in presses and saying, look, next season, we're going to build on this title winning team. It's very, very telling. And I know I've showed you before that kind of, that video where I showed you about, Liverpool's 11 going into next season and how it might look. And I did a video on that. If you want to check that out, it's going to be on my channel. And I think for most Liverpool fans, I think they're very, very positive. And I think they have every right to be, including myself. A title winning team is, I'm going to see if I can pull that up for you guys. Sorry about the volume, but I'm going to try to find that for you. The kind of team which a lot of Liverpool fans want going into next season. I think it's very realistic as well. So if I can find that for you, I'm going to pull it up for you right now. So here it is, guys. I'm going to see if I can get it up for you right now. But look, I think it's, guys, just on. I think it's also very, very important that we enjoy this season. I think there's not been many years where Liverpool have been champions in the Premier League era. I think this is one of those years that, even including myself, I need to be a bit more careful about how I react to things. But I don't know if you can see that, guys, but I'm going to zoom into that so you guys can see a bit better. If I can zoom in on that. Okay, it's not letting me zoom in properly, but you guys can make out what it says here. Look, Alisson, Van Dijk, Kanate, Frimpong, Kirkers, McAllister, Gravenberch, Salah, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, and Isak. Now, if judging by Arne Slot's comments and Liverpool's link with Isak, and it could be Ekitike, and they've been linked with Stiller and Kirkers and Frimpong and Dean Huijsen as well, Liverpool could be very, very strong next season. And I'm sure, look, Man City will be even better, Arsenal will be better, Chelsea will be better, Tottenham, Villa, Newcastle, Manchester United, I'm sure they will all be better teams next year. But if Liverpool improve their team, they had a striker, they had a winger, they had a potential centre-back in there, a new right-back with Trent leaving, just to add some competition to that right-back berth that is going to be, utilised with the likes of Bradley and Gomez if he's there next season. Liverpool could be in serious business. And I think winning a title is the perfect step forward. Now, you might argue, why we don't need signings, we don't need players, we already won the league. And a lot of people have said that to me, especially Liverpool fans, top Reds. But we've seen it before. If Liverpool sit and do nothing, they can go from first to fifth within a couple of years. And that's what happened. 1920, Liverpool in the league. 2021, injuries, they finished third, didn't win anything. 21-22, they won the FA Cup, the League Cup, finished second, Champions League final, Premier League final day. Then the next year, Liverpool finished fifth in the league. That summer, where Liverpool finished fifth, they lost Sadio Mane. They were given Darwin Núñez and Arthur Melo when heavy investment was needed on the midfield, with the aging of Fabinho, Milner, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain's injury problems, along with Naby Keita. It was a very unreliable midfield. And Thiago Alcantara, he was very unreliable that year as well. He hardly played, and his last 2 years at Liverpool were plagued with injuries. So, look, I'm not saying Liverpool need a lot of players. I said the word heavy before. I think that was a bit of an exaggeration. But I think subtle tweaks, adding to this squad and just putting Arne Slot's full imprint on this team will make Liverpool better. It's very, very simple. And what perfect way to build on this than winning a league title. Liverpool have won a league title. They don't need to do massive amounts, just subtle tweaks, and things will be a lot better. And I'm sure that's what Arne Slot is looking towards. He's looking towards next season, as are a lot of Liverpool fans. I can tell you that there's been links to Xavi Simons, and everybody that I speak to, reliable sources, say that there is strong interest in Xavi Simons. Same with Milos Kerkez. A lot of people that I speak to say Milos Kerkez to Liverpool is very, very close, and it will be more surprising if he stays at Bournemouth and signs for Liverpool, and that's very, very telling. Frimpong, I've not heard too much, but the names that keep popping up to me are Ekitike, Isak as well. If Newcastle don't get in the Champions League, I think that's one to keep an eye on. But Simmons and Kirkes are two to really watch, because I think those two players do improve Liverpool's team. I'm not the biggest fan of Xavi Simmons, because I want my number 10 to, contribute with more key passes per 90. And I think he averages one key pass, but two key passes per 90, which I think I need more from a number 10. I think Soboslai does something similar. If someone can put up the stats with me when they can. But I want a bit more of a dynamic number 10, which he is, but I want somebody that's a real creative machine, and there's not many in Europe. McAllister, people have been screaming out for him to go number 10, but then does he have the legs? He then needs to bring somebody in behind him. But look, I think there's a lot of options, and I'm sure Liverpool will be better. Cunha, could he play as a number 10, especially with the Roberto Firmino role, the 9.5? Loads of questions. But get your comments in below. What is next for Liverpool? Can they build on winning a Premier League title? I hope so. Take care, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.